thought I'd put up my first little video about one of the dragons I'm trying to master. I've always been into, well, trying to keep fit and working out, but my issue has always been consistency. So years ago I came up with this little sort of line or reminder to myself that I'm determined to persist and I'll persist to be determined. And that is particularly true when it comes to being consistent in the gym. So I managed to set up a pretty cool little gym at home for myself. I'm lucky I've sort of got, let's say, a double garage size space that I've made the kit up, and I'll show you a bit about that shortly. But I guess, you know, this could fit into my category of either, you know, health and fitness, mastering my dragons, but also the man project. There's well, it's not really just a man or women, man or woman. Personally, I think working out, lifting weights is a great thing. Having muscles, having some definition, probably more so about just being genuinely fit, being able to do things in general life, whether that's lifting a wheelbarrow that I do around the farm, you know, that equates to sort of deadlifts or squats or something like that. So what I do in the gym, I always think about what I'm trying to do out in everyday life. And it's amazing how often I'll be lifting something or carrying something thinking, yeah, you know, those bent bar rows, they're helping me do this. And it may not be just about getting strength, it's about being conditioned so that when I do go and lift something or do something outside, could be as little as jumping into the back of my boat or whatever, that I'm not going to strain something because I'm actively working those muscles all the time. So I'm definitely a believer in trying to get in some weights as well as plenty of cardio and what have you. You know, obviously diet and that sort of stuff coming to it, but just getting in there, lifting old-fashioned weights makes you feel great. There's nothing better than that feeling of that pump afterwards. So if you're not lifting weights, get out there and do something. It's easy. Now, I guess what I wanted to lead in from here was that, you know, people say, well, how am I going to do this? It's expensive to have a gym membership and what have you. I haven't got time to go to the gym. Well, it can be true. And what I've tried to set up, though, is a pretty inexpensive way of doing it. Now, let's say it varies everywhere in which country you're in and what have you, but typically, at least here in Australia, you could easily spend $1,000 on it for a year, maybe 2 years at the most. Definitely, let's say over 2 years, you would spend $1,000 on a gym membership. Some gyms have a sign-up fee and then the monthly fee or what have you. Now, I definitely did that early on the piece, and I'll probably no different than a lot of people signed up for a year. You know, you get that New Year kick, so you pay for your year, and then it tapers off after 3 months. You're down to going maybe once a week, and by the end of the year you just haven't gone, you've blown your bloody your annual subscription. Then you leave it for a while, and then you'll come back, and maybe next year you'll sign up again and pay another annual fee, and the same thing happens and drops off, and you basically blow your money each time. So what I've been able to do, and you can do it depending on how much space you've got. It could be as simple as just having a few dumbbells sitting around, and that's it. It could be a couple of dumbbells and a bench and one bar. You don't even have any bar. Bars are always use a bit more space. You can do plenty of things just with dumbbells. So what I found is playing on that same theme where people tend to get motivated into health and fitness and then give up. A lot of people seem to go out there and buy gym equipment. That's weights, dumbbells, benches, what have you, even a bit more elaborate equipment. And after a year or two, a couple of years, they're not using it anymore. Their motivation is gone, and then they sell it. And these days, eBay, Gumtree, Craigslist, wherever you are, it's full of bargains to be had when it comes to gym equipment. Okay. So I'll jump behind the camera and I'll just show you what I've been able to set up in my gym. It's probably taken me 2 years to accumulate the kit, I guess, over time. I watch eBay and that sort of stuff all the time. Some people list stuff for crazy prices, so just ignore that. And obviously it's just got to be in your local area because weights and gym equipment are a bit bulky and heavy to be able to post, typically. So just look around my local area, and over, say, the 2 years, I've kitted out my gym pretty well for about $1,000. Okay, and the beauty of that is I've got it for as long as I want it, forever if I want. Weights, at best, they might get a little rusty, but that's it. They don't rot away or anything like that. And if the worst, if you ever want to get rid of it, sell it. Chuck it back on eBay and get a few bucks back. You can't do that from the gym. Now the other benefits of having it at home is you can go whenever you like. You don't need to drive. You don't need to, if it's, you know, cold and wet outside, you don't have to get kitted up, go to the gym, get changed and go. You can just, I walk over here all the time in whatever I'm feeling, dress, you know, obviously appropriate to do your workout. You can sneak it in whenever you've got time. You know, if you're following my blogs, I've got a newborn baby, I've got a son. Obviously my wife, I've got to spend time, so it's tricky to juggle all that in between work and that sort of stuff. So having it close to home is great. You know, after dinner, you can just walk out into the garage, jump in and get into it. You don't need to get down the road to get to the gym. So it's one more hurdle out of the way. And it doesn't matter what you look like. You know, gyms can also be a great posing place. You know, you want to have all your latest kit. You're not embarrassed by lifting those little puny weights. How many people do you know that get injured because of their ego, where they're trying to lift heavier weights because they don't want to be seen in the gym next to the big beefcake who's doing, you know, 40 kilo dumbbell arm presses or something like that, arm curls. So at home, no one else is watching, it's just you. You can do it, no problem at all, on your own. All right, I'll give you a quick tour of my gym. Okay, so this is it from sort of the way back. As I said, double garage size. I'm a little bit spoiled, but so I've spread it out a little bit. But you could definitely squeeze this in to, you know, a single garage or even a spare bedroom. And you don't need this much stuff. As I said, I've been spoiled. So let's have a look at what I've got. Basics, all these dumbbells. Now, again, you don't need that many. Buy a few and some extra spare weights and just change them as you go. In between sets, have a little rest, change your dumbbells up. But over time, I managed to get dumbbells. These are one of the greatest things you can save money by buying on eBay. Brand new, weight's expensive, it's crazy. But you'll easily get this half price, if not more, less, by buying on eBay. Okay, so benches, I've ended up with a few. What I've found is often I'll see people selling, there'll be, you know, a bench, some couple of dumbbells and maybe, you know, a bar or two. And I've bought and sold some of that stuff, so I might just want the bench, so I'll buy the bench and sell the bars and what have you, or opposite. Likewise, I've been chasing some more weight, so I bought the weights and then just put the bench back on eBay. So I've got straight bench, it can drop down flat as well, incline, flat bench. Now bench press and leg curls, these come up all the time. They're a dime a dozen on eBay, and you'll get those usually with a bar and a couple of weights and maybe some dumbbells if you're lucky, chucked in. You know, $100. You'll see them all the time on eBay. So one of the bargains, and this gets maybe where you need a little bit more space, but this was great. Now this whole thing here, my squat rack. It's got a couple of cable machines on that I can set up. It has got pin weights on it, which I've tried to stay away with, but this was such a bargain. Now, you know, you go to one of the gym shops, you buy this, it'll be $2,500 or something like that. I picked this up for $500. So the whole thing with 200 kilos of weight. I actually also got these two benches and a flat bench, all for $500. And then I sold a couple of my other older benches because these were in such good condition. So here now I've got cable machines, seated row, lateral pull downs, awesome setup. Okay. This was another older machine, which got a fly machine on it. I now use it just as a bench. I used to use that as my squat rack, but now it's just a sort of a rack for bent bar rows. So yeah, it's awesome. The other thing I managed to do, this is a little bit of a poser thing maybe, but I picked up these old mirrored doors off of their wardrobe doors. I'm not huge, as you can see. This is more for fitness rather than bodybuilding, but I found them to have a set like this is great for just checking your form, particularly on new exercises and stuff like that. If you're new to a particular exercise, then it's a great way to go. So yeah, that's my gym. I'm going to keep posting these little videos about my workouts. Try to master this dragon of mine and keep myself motivated to work out continuously. See if I can stay in the gym for a whole year. Alright, master your dragons, live the life you dream of. Cheers.